Hey guys, I wanted to show you a modification I made, or actually an accessory I made for the PM1228 lathe. But I've been making a bunch of these bushings out of acetal, and they have a male thread on one piece and a female thread on this other piece. And they're used, I'm using them for some outdoor electronic installations, and I have a cable, network cable runs through here. These bushings act as a seal to keep out weather, keep rain and snow and other stuff out, pollen, but it also keeps small critters, spiders and ants and other critters like that that love to get inside these boxes. If you've ever done any outdoor electronics, you've probably experienced that. I wanted to make up a bunch of these bushings. It's easier to make a bunch of them at once than it is to make them one-off, because if you haven't done it for 6 months or a year, it takes some time to kind of get back in the groove, so to speak. Over here on the PM1228 lathe, I'm set up to thread this end here, which will become one of the bushings, and I've got a small custom-made threading tool mounted in the tool post, but the tool needs to be exactly square with the workpiece. And let me just show you that closer up. The tool I'm using for threading is actually very small, as you can see. And this is for the male thread, and there's a similar one for the female thread. I turned this down from an 1/8 inch tool blank just because it's a lot quicker and easier when all you need is a really small tool like this than trying to grind it down and throwing away, half pound of metal. But I use these little inserts I made from some key stock to be able to mount these tiny little tools in the AXA tool holder. When I mount this now, I need to be sure that this is exactly square. I need to be sure that the tool post is exactly square with the work so that the thread is properly formed. Well, here's the little tool I made, and it's got a piece of 3/8 inch drill rod and just a piece of aluminum, and I just smoothed the sides out on the mill and got rid of any burrs that would throw it off. But the hole is drilled and reamed, and then this drill rod, the 3/8 inch drill rod, is pressed in there. I used the hydraulic press, but you could use a vise or some other mechanism to press that into place. But the point is, you want it to be as square as you can get it. Okay, in use, this mounts in the chuck. And I usually have the chuck in place 90% of the time when I'm working on the lathe, so I made it to be adaptable for the chuck rather than have some other holding mechanism. But once it's in there, you just swing it up like this, and then you can bring the tailstock up against the backside of the tool post, like so. And then I loosen up the tool post so that it's free to turn, and just slowly advance the ram on the tailstock, and it actually pushes the quick change tool post into alignment. So now I have a high degree of confidence that this is square, and didn't take long to do it. And during the course of operations, I may have to move the tool post several times and then re-square it. So I just leave this in the chuck until I'm all done with those operations. And when I'm not actually working with it, I just let it hang down like that. And that's just so it's not sticking out here where I might jam my arm into it. And then if I don't need it, I can just pull it out and stick it in the drawer. Now, another operation where you want to be sure that the tool is exactly square to the work is when you're doing a cutoff operation. And so I can use the same method. And I don't even need to have the tool holder in place when I line up the quick change tool post. I can just bring my alignment tool up here, or loosen up the clamp so that that's free to move. I'll bring the alignment tool up, and then I'll use the tailstock ram just to make the final alignment. There we go. Now lock this down. Now I just drop my tool holder into place, lock it up, and we're good to go. I made this for the larger PM1228 lathe, but it would work just as well on just about any lathe, really, including the mini lathe. And I made it, for lining threading tools. And I now do almost all of my threading on the PM1228 just because it has the quick change gearbox, so it's a lot quicker and easier to use. But you still, when doing a cutoff operation on the mini lathe, or if you do threading on the mini lathe, this would be a useful addition to have. And bringing it over here, I realized if I just cut a little bit off of the bottom, I can use it on both lathes and it'll work dual purpose.